Of course guys, because the creep was not already good enough. Now the creep spread is ready, increased from 12 to 30. I don't even know what this means. I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no fucking idea what this means, but I don't like it anyway. Any Zer buff, it's a bad buff, guys. What's up guys, Cuckoo here, and we are back with another YouTube video. This time we're gonna react to the new patch notes that just got announced in SE2. We have a couple of new interesting balance updates, and obviously a map pool update as well. I threw a fast look because I couldn't hold myself, and let me tell you something, it did not look good. As a Terran player, I did not necessarily like what I saw, but let's go a little bit more in depth this time. Maybe I just saw the wrong stuff. Like as I said, I threw like a very fast look at it, and maybe that's why I did not necessarily like everything that I saw, but let's go this time a little bit more in depth. So first thing first, we have a map update. We keep the same nine map system when we obviously have a couple of new maps. For some reasons, I don't know the new maps. I have never played on them, but I heard some people complaining about them. I basically just saw some messages from some Protoss and Zer players in some Discord servers. I don't know exactly why they said that the new map pool is a joke. I'll probably do a separate video where I'm testing all the new maps. The same 9 map system, I think, is fine. This is where things get interesting, guys, because as I said, I threw a fast look at them, and the first thing I see is the Liberator that got a nerf, which I find it quite surprising, to be fair. And yeah, Liberator advanced ballistic range bonus reduced from 3 to 2. I think this is mainly in TVP late game, which I'm gonna be honest, guys. Like, I don't think TVP late game is necessarily that that favorite for Terran. Like, I feel like with this change, it's going to be even harder to play TVP late game than it used to be. I don't like, anyway. I did not think that Liberators are good in TVP late game most of the times, because Liberators as a unit are very like clumsy, and they are very slow, and you need to take time to siege them. And usually the Protoss late game looks something like Stalkers with disruptors, with blink DTs and all of that stuff, and most of the time you just get outmaneuvered by the Protoss player because the Liberators are very slow. But I think this is gonna make a huge difference in TVP, well, not in late game necessarily, mid game as well, when for example there are spots on the map where I can harass the Protoss mineral line with a Lib, and they cannot touch me with their Stalkers, so they are forced to build a Stargate. So I think this is what this change is meant for, but I don't know. I feel like it's gonna affect a lot the TVZ late game as well. Like, I don't know. Liberators were not that great of a unit, I feel like, in late game anyway, and right now it's gonna be even more shit. So I'm not a big fan of this change. Let's go to the Widow mine. If we like mines obviously got another nerf. People were hard complaining about the mines. Invisibility while reloading now requires drilling close upgrade instead of a constructed armory. So basically now, if you wanna have invisibility in your mines, it's not enough to just build the armory anymore. You also need a drilling close upgrade, which is basically we just go back to the previous like 1 year ago or 2 years ago, I'm not really sure, where this was a thing. Splash damage radius reduced from 175 to 1.5 now gives an attack alert to the enemy when burrowing in range of enemy units. Increased visibility of targeting line and targeting unit. So yeah, basically the mine just got extremely nerfed. I think it's still okay. Like, I don't think it's something that huge. I think mines are still gonna be very played in TVP and TVZ. I think it's going to make some difference. Like, overall, this patch for Terran doesn't look that great at the moment. Yeah, it looks tough. It looks tough. That's all I'm gonna say. It looks tough. It looks pretty tough. But you know, you never know for sure until you don't play on it. So once the patch is live on the ladder, and we can play a couple ladder games, and we can stream it, and see exactly how the new meta feels like, this we're gonna have like a better idea on the whole situation. So armory cost reduced from 150 to 100 to 150-50. I think this is a decent change. Like, I don't think it changes that much, especially now that the mines are not cloaked anymore with the armory only. Yeah, might be a good thing. Who knows? Maybe we're gonna see like a little bit more Hellbat aggressions and Hellbat all this in TVZ. But yeah, engineering bay, infantry weapons armor upgrades cost reduced from 100. Okay, so we got the buff in the upgrades as well. I think this is fine. It's not something very huge, so I think it's fine, but I think the Liberator and the Widowmine change is pretty bad. I don't like them because first of all, again, Lib was already not the greatest unit ever in my opinion, especially in PvP. It was quite hard to work with them, and the mine. I can see why the mine was a bit frustrating to play against, but let's be honest, every single race has their like own frustrating things to play against. You know, Protoss have disruptors, blink DTs, and all of that stuff. Zerg has creep and fungus and burry fester, which is frustrating to play against. So yeah, I don't know. Now what is gonna be frustrating to play against a Terran, guys? You know what I'm saying now? Right now there is no frustrating unit anymore in the Terran arsenal, which I think is a problem. I think this is a problem. I think this is a huge problem. There is no any more frustrating unit to play against. I mean, I'm obviously kidding a little bit, but yeah, I'm curious to see exactly how the game is gonna feel like, because as I said, things doesn't look too good. Cyclone, I actually like this. This is a good one. I think this is a good one. In TVT, this is amazing. So Cyclone, weapon cooldown increase from 0.48 to 0.58. Lock-on now cooldown increase from 0 to 286. Damage bonus per weapon upgrade increase from 1 to 2. Weapon now has turret tracking, turn faster, remove damage point. Health increase from 110 to 130. I think this is a good change, especially in TVT, because TVT feels so chaotic right now. If you watch any TVT pro game, you're gonna see people doing 10 to 12 cyclones in the early game, and this is basically everything that right now in TVT is happening. You just build cyclones and you just hope for the best. They are a little bit of a Russian roulette. You never really know what's happening. We'll need to see the change, how it feels like, and yeah, but I like this change. I actually like it. And in TVP, a bit of a change, especially in like the early game. I'm not sure exactly how much is gonna impact the early game in TVP, because for example, if the Protoss player is shizing nowadays, yeah, you most of the time as a Terran will just gonna make a cyclone because it's like the best early game unit and the fastest best unit you can do against any kind of cheese, regardless if it's Stargate, Void Ray Proxy, or Tempest, or like Proxy Gate, or Proxy Robo, or I don't know, Cannon Rush, like any type of cheese, you just make a cyclone. Which right now I'm not sure if the cyclone is gonna be as good with the lock-on cooldown from 0 to 3 seconds almost, but yeah, we'll see. Like yeah, we'll see about it. But overall, I think it's a decent change. Raven interference metrics can no longer target units already targeted or affected by interference metrics. I think this is more about. I think this is more of a thing in the late game. If you have like 10 Ravens, 10, 15 Ravens, and you want to use rapid fire and you want to use rapid fire with metrics, I think this is a bit of a quality of life change, because the metrics when you use rapid fire, we're gonna go on units that are obviously not hit by the metrics already. Okay, Zerg Hatchery Hive, creep spread radius increased from 12 to 13, of course, guys, because the creep was not already good enough. Now the creep spread radius increased from 12 to 13. I don't even know what this means, I'm gonna be honest with you, I have no fucking idea what this means, but I don't like it anyway. Any Zerg buff, it's a bad buff, guys. Any Zerg buff, it's a bad buff. That's what I think. Especially any creep buff. I don't like it. Infest or fungal growth range increase from 9 to 10. Amazing. I mean, I don't like this change. I think it's, I mean, it's a buff, obviously, but I don't like it. I don't like it as a Terran player. I don't like it. I already find Infestor frustrating to play against. Right now, it's gonna be even more frustrating. They're gonna have more range to go with the fungal. I don't like it. Especially that in the late game right now, the Burrow Infestor is so annoying. But okay, let's actually read all the changes. Vision range while Burrow reduced from 10 to 8. Okay, this is good. This is good. I like it. Burrow time increased from 0.36 to 0.71 seconds to 0.58 to 0.71 seconds. Okay, Burrow Infestor is now more visible while moving. This is something I like, and I was ready to say why. Because in the current TVZ late game, it's so frustrating to play sometimes against the Burrow Infestors, because sometimes you you literally don't have time to react to the Burrow Infestor. So they have like a Burrow Infestor, they are A moving you with like, I don't know, Broodlords, Vipers, Corruptors, Queens, whatever. Okay, and you have like Ghosts, and you are ready to snipe all the Broodlords and all of that stuff, and they have like a Burrow Infestor, they fungal your Ghost, and you lose like 8 to 10 Ghosts in like 1 second. And is very complicated to play against this. It's very complicated. First of all, you don't see the infestors. You see them very rare. Like because because as I said, they are not that visible, which I understand from these changes that right now they're gonna become more visible. First of all, second of all, their vision range while borrowed was 10, which I think was very huge. Now it's 8. So right now, obviously, I think it's gonna be a little bit better. I think this is a good change. I think it's gonna change. It's gonna help Terran in TVZ late game in a state of a, or in a state of a game, which I think it was a bit of an issue. If you guys watch Maru against Serral in I think I am Katowice grand final, you're gonna see how Maru just completely lost that final to Borrow Infestors, which yeah, if you watch that, you're gonna see why it's a bit of an issue, the Borrow Infestor. Now on the other hand, Terrans could do a Raven in the late game, which I think is something that I personally tested a couple of times, but I find it extremely hard and extremely complicated to play against, to play with. And I also think this is one of the reasons why you don't see high-level Terran players building a Raven in late game TVZ, because it just feels very hard to play with it. It's very complicated because you already have Ghosts, you have probably Liberators already, you have Thors. Like imagining all of this scenario, you have like Ghosts that you need to EMP Infestors, maybe Snipe Brewlords or Ultras or whatever. You have already Thors that you need to focus fire every single Brewlord. You have Lib that maybe they are you have Libs that they are maybe unsiege and you need to siege them. You maybe again, as I said, like EMP some queens, like you don't know, and you have another Raven that you need to control. Like there are a lot of units that you have to control, and it makes things very complicated. When on the other hand, the Zerg players, yeah, most of the time they just need to click 2 buttons, fungal, and that's pretty much it. I mean, at least this is how it feels like as a Terran player to play against late game TVZ. This is kind of how it feels like. They kind of just press 2 buttons, and that's pretty much it. Maybe I'm wrong, guys. Maybe I'm wrong. I'm not saying that I might not be wrong. I'm not wrong. But this is just how it kind of feels like. You know what I'm saying? Like it just feels like they press 2 buttons and that's it. So I like this change. I like it. Okay, Overlord Transport, Overlord Morph time increase from 12, blah blah blah. Morph speed increase. Okay, whatever. Overlord buff, sure. Okay, Protoss build time reduced from 28. Observer build time reduced from 28. Blah blah blah. Okay, so this is a buff. Health shield increase from, okay, so this is basically, if I'm not wrong, this is not going to get one shots anymore from mine, which I think, yeah, which I think it's a bit annoying. Like I think TVP is gonna become very tough, guys. I'm gonna be honest, more tougher than it is right now. I don't think it's gonna become impossible. Obviously, we still have a lot of Terrans that dominate TVP at the highest level, but I do think that is gonna become a little bit more complicated. Model size increased by 10. Okay, so you're gonna be able to see the observer a little bit bigger, which I think is a good thing. So yeah, mostly buffs for observer. Sure, I'm not sure about that. Like I'm not very sure about this change. I feel like the observer was anyway hitting pretty hard in TVZ, like pretty hard in TVP. Like pretty fast, not pretty hard, pretty fast in TVP already. Right now it's just gonna hit even faster. So I'm not a very big fan of it because I already think that the observers were pretty fast built in TVP, and the Protoss was able to scout with the observer already in a decent timing. But yeah, right now they're just gonna be able to scout faster. Sure, why not? Give them more buffs. And yeah, sentry damage increase from 6 to 6, +4 versus shields. Okay, so this is a PvP change. Light attribute tag removed. I'm not really sure what this means, I'm gonna be honest. So it's not all, so it's not anymore a light unit. This is what they try to say. I don't know, guys, if you know, let down in the comments below, but I think this is what they probably want to say, that it's not anymore a light unit. But a damage increase, I think this is just a PvP change. It's not gonna affect PvP too much. And pylon side range increase from 9 to 10, sure, whatever, not that important. Bug fixes. Yeah, overall, guys, this is the new patch that we got announced. I'm not a big fan of it. I think Terran is gonna have a tough time on it by reading this change. I think this change is not good. I think this change is pretty bad for Terran. I kind of understand why people are finding mine a little bit frustrating, but as I said, every single unit has their like every single race has their unit that is frustrating to play against, and we had a mine and right now the mine got nerfed pretty badly, I would say. So yeah, I don't know what to say. Armory in engineering bay, yeah, sure, whatever. I think this is gonna be interesting. The armory the armory buff, because it might, like, it might become like, I think the armory buff is gonna be a little bit interesting in TVZ, because yeah, people might do a little bit more helmet pushes and helmet segregations, which I think it might be a good thing. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see. We have to test this to see how fast you're gonna hit with the helmet push and helmet all in with this change. I think it's obviously gonna be a little bit faster, but we have to see what kind of difference this makes. Engineering by blah blah. That's not that important. I like this change in TVT early game. Now let's see how it's gonna play out. And yeah, I like the infestor change. That's good. Everything here is good. The vision range while boron reducing and boron time increasing. Boron infestor is now more visible while moving. I think this is all good. So yeah, that's pretty much it. Let me know, guys, what you think in comments below about this patch notes. I think Terran is gonna have a tough time on it, but who knows, guys? Who I am? You know, I'm saying who knows. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong, but yeah, we'll see. It's gonna be interesting to see how this is gonna impact the game and how it's gonna impact the current meta. We're gonna have a lot of tournaments ahead. We have WTL soon. We have qualifiers from the DreamHack Dallas. ESL StarCraft 2 Masters in Dallas, and this is and those are in April, early April if I'm not wrong. So yeah, a lot of StarCraft pretty soon, and I probably is gonna be on this balance patch. So gonna be interesting to see how it's gonna play out. Until next time, guys. Hope you enjoyed the video and see you next time. Take care of you and don't forget to enjoy StarCraft 2.